Hello, welcome back to probably the last episode of Compact Claustrophobia. How you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good myself, thanks for asking. So why am I saying last episode? Well, if we check some of the remaining quests that we have, all I need to do to complete this pack is travel to 3 different... I know some of you are going to get mad if I call Moon a planet. It is not a planet, so we'll just say celestial bodies, right? Yeah, I just have to travel to these different ones. And quests are relatively simple. I just have to collect a couple of the rocks that are on them. And then all of these collection challenges. And that should be it. Every single quest is completed here. So I'm going to try my best to finish up everything on this episode. And then we can go ahead and call the pack completed. And this is kind of exciting for me because this is probably the first pack I've fully 100% complete since Divine Journey 2. Which is like almost 3 years ago. Jeez. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal for me, but let's get into it. On the last episode, I did mention that I was going to build like some kind of a launch pad for my Galacticraft stuff because there's like no way I will be able to launch a rocket from here. So I went ahead and did that before I started the episode, and you're going to be surprised by what I did. Check it out. It's just another maximum compact machine, except with the roof exposed. And it's kind of fitting, isn't it? I spent the entire playthrough inside compact machines. Why wouldn't I continue that trend? You can call it Stockholm Syndrome if you want, but I think it's just kind of fitting that we're going to spend the rest of the pack in a box like this. But I made sure to add some amenities so I can feel right at home. For example, we got our bed. We have a little lake and a garden patch with a seat. You can't really sit down there, right? Our NASA workbench, of course. And if I walk around outside, you got the nice view of the surrounding plains. You got mountains over there. Oh, look at that, some cows. Nice and serene environment, right? Home sweet home. Anyways, I think one of the first things I'm going to do is move a lot of these grids to the overworld so I don't have to go back and forth inside the machine too often. That shouldn't be too much of a challenge, so let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. I'm going to keep it like this for now. It's kind of simple, but this gives us access to the grids that we use the most often. Crafting grid to access all of our stuff. Pattern grid to set up some recipes, put the patterns there. Crafting monitor to see what's currently crafting, and the crafter manager to actually put in patterns into our stuff. And then I just had to make sure that wherever those machines were, I just replaced them with regular cables, and that should keep our base operational. It looks kind of scuffed, yes, but it should work. I don't know if it broke anything, we'll see. And then we have our power attached back there. Another thing I forgot to mention was this arc lamp from Galacticraft. It's actually pretty useful in that it lights up at a pretty big area, because if you didn't know, by default, the compact machine walls, the craftable ones at least, don't emit a light level at all. But the ones, the unbreakable ones do. So yeah, you're going to want light here, but this is kind of like a flood lamp effect, and it lights up everything up here. And then I just put carpet up here so that, nothing spawns up here because there's no light up here. Anyway, so the first thing I really want to do is start setting up our Galacticraft machines. Yeah, right there. And I'm probably going to make more than one to help me out here. One thing I need to worry about is dealing with the mobs outside. So I think what I'm going to do so that they don't bother me is make more of these arc lamps. That way I can shine the outside. So let's get started with that. Because, yeah, I'm going to get a little frustrated with these mobs here. Let's make 4 more, 1 for each side. I guess I'll take a nap while those are crafting. Otherwise, I think the next step is to actually get to work on our first rocket. I don't really know how expensive it is in this pack. I doubt that it changed its recipe. But you need to do a couple of things for Galacticraft so you can get to the moon, which is the first celestial body you have to get to. But not only that, you need to basically fill up everything here. You don't actually need thermal protection for moon, I don't think. But once you get to Mars, you do need thermal protection. But then you need a bunch of this other stuff. But it's basically like a spacesuit-ish kind of thing. It feeds your body with oxygen so you don't, die. Because you kind of need oxygen. So for sure it's the oxygen mask. You need the oxygen gear, light oxygen tank. I might want to start disabling dynamic surroundings. It's a little bit loud. Okay, yeah, I had to disable that mod. I was hearing too many of those birds chirping about. Normally I'm okay with it, when I'm taking an actual walk in real life in a park or something. I do like birds chirping, but when I'm in a game trying to focus on space travel, it can get a little bit cumbersome. Is that the right word? I don't know, but yeah, I just had to disable it. Anyways, as I was saying, we need a couple of things for our space travel to actually begin. Yes, you can launch a rocket and you can get to the moon, but you won't really be able to survive there long without a form of oxygen. So let's craft all of this stuff first. I might as well make another compressor to help me out. I can put that guy right there. And there we go. I got everything crafted. We're not quite ready yet though, because we need to actually fill up the oxygen tanks. So there's a couple of machines that you have to make. I believe one of them is a oxygen collector to, collect oxygen if that's not apparent enough. And then an oxygen compressor to actually fill up these oxygen tanks. So 2 more machines I have to make. And there we go. Oxygen not included. Isn't that a game? Pretty sure that's a game. So I'm going to collect oxygen first and then flip this around to compress oxygen like this and then plug it in with power. So this guy is now collecting oxygen. By default, I think it works in the overworld, but if you want to collect oxygen somewhere else, you have to supply it with, I'm pretty sure leaves would work. I don't know if anything else works. I've only ever been familiar with leaves, but this collects oxygen, should put it into here, and then I can fill up my oxygen tank. Fun fact, you can actually enchant these with unbreaking so that they last a little bit longer. Might be something I should be doing. Oh, I can just go straight into the next tiers. Oh, I might as well just do this then, because these light oxygen tanks don't really last that long. 27,000 versus 900, so this is triple the amount. Yeah, let's craft these. And there we go, 2 full heavy oxygen tanks, way better than the light ones. And with that, we're now ready to get to the moon, except that we actually have to build the rocket, so that's another little bit of a rabbit hole. And okay, I have decided to just stop doing it like this. This thing is always bugging out, and it seems that whenever I'm outside in the overworld, it keeps breaking. So I'm going to remove the redstone control for this and just have it running nonstop. And there we go. This guy's going to now run forever, which, yeah, is going to waste some of our fuel, but we're so rich that it doesn't matter anymore. Actually, I'm curious, how much uranium do I have stored in here? Only 300,000 uranium. We should be good for quite a while. So really, the actual rocket is going to be the most expensive part of this. We're going to need nose cones, heavy-duty plates, rocket engines, and rocket fins, a whole bunch of this stuff. And it gets especially expensive because of these heavy-duty plates. These are a little more kind of annoying to craft because it needs 6 of the other plates. So you're going to need a lot of steel, aluminum, and bronze for this. What I'm also going to want to craft is a fuel loader. Yeah, this guy is what actually puts the fuel in the rocket. Now, we're also going to need fuel, but I don't actually know how to make fuel in this version of Galactic Craft. I think in this version, you can also make the fuel refinery. So I need to make this as well, I'm pretty sure. That's kind of the challenge with Galactic Craft stuff. You got to make sure it plugs in the right way, right there. And then where that little hole is, you have to actually put the rocket launch pad. So the rocket is going to be here once we're ready. And then the refinery can be plugged in somewhere. Top? Is that really where you want the power? Really? So we're going to want to fill this up with oil. I don't know what mod does it, but I think we can actually get oil just spawning out in the world. So let's go look for oil. I remember seeing on the corner of my eye an oil pool. I can't remember exactly where that pool of oil was, but I swear I remember seeing it out the corner of my eye somewhere. Through sickness and health, there's only one. Now, ooh, there's a village. I'm still trying to look for some oil, but I stumbled across this village. It's actually pretty close by to our base. It's over that direction. I really like these immersive engineering houses because they have these wooden storage crates. And when you're starting off in a mod pack with immersive engineering, it's a really good idea to take these because they actually do retain their inventory. Pro strats from a seasoned expert player. I don't think I need anything from here. The blacksmith might have some goodies. We have some s'more stuff, which is actually going to be used for our nuclear craft stuff, so I might as well take that. Let's gather around the campfire. Oh, that's such a good SpongeBob reference. I think the guy who played Dr. Doofenshmirtz in Phineas and Ferb, this is completely random knowledge, by the way. Oh, look at that. I found our original civs. But the guy who played Dr. Doofenshmirtz the voice actor for that actually wrote the Campfire song. I didn't know that until I saw that little clip of him singing it. And just some useful information for later on, right? Look at how many horsies there are. I've never seen this many. Is that what I think it is? That's a perfectly round circle in the middle of the water. That better be oil or something. That is straight up oil. It's so funny that it spawns underwater. How am I going to pick it up? Hang on. Let me think here. Can I just right click it? No, I'm going to be picking up water instead. I think if I swim under it, I should be able to. Let's try that. You know, it being under gravel is not going to be a very fun thing to deal with. That's fine. Uh-oh. Get me out. Okay, how the heck do I get that oil? There we go. Okay. It's a little bit dark. Bear with me. There we go. We got oil. Oh, it's also right next to Guardians. Nah, I'm not going to fight that. I don't need to. Okay, so how this fuel refinery works, I just have to feed it oil. I should be able to right click like that. Yeah. But this is going to make us fuel. And then while we're doing that, we should be able to craft the rockets now. So I did get some of these compressed plates going. Compressed bronze, stack of aluminum, and then the steel should be ready right here. Leave this running for a bit. We're going to get a stack of heavy duty plates. And then I went ahead and made all of the patterns for this stuff. So let's get to crafting. And that should be everything for the tier 1 rocket. We have acquired the tier 1 rocket. One cool thing about Galacticraft is you actually do hold the rockets. It's a little bit buggy with the shift. I'm trying to shift, but it doesn't really register that I'm trying. It's especially funny when you have the Galacticraft add-ons, which add up to like tier 9 planets, I think, or something like that. And you get massive rockets. Anyways, you right-click on the pad, and you just need the fuel to be put into this guy, which we're getting from here. I can probably give this a fluid input-output. Let's try that. Let's give it like a conduit over here. I got in the rocket, and you can press F to actually see its status. And yeah, it's good to go. So I think with this, we're pretty much ready to go. All I need to do is press space to launch, but I'm not going to do that yet. So it's a good idea to have like a kind of pre-launch checklist, which you absolutely need before you launch to the moon is, of course, frequency module. This is kind of not really needed. It's just so you can hear noises out there. But what you really need is oxygen mask, the gear, a source of oxygen, and the parachute is kind of like a 50-50. I don't know if you don't need it if you have creative flight like I do. But one thing I want to do before I go there is craft a couple of night vision potions because it gets pretty dark in the dungeons if I want to traverse between the different planets. So let's craft some. And I think with that, we're ready to go. So what do I need to do in the moon? First of all, all I need to do is progress into the quests, which is just pick up a couple of moon rocks. But for us to get to the next tier of planet, which is Mars, we have to go through the dungeon and fight the boss to get the schematic for the next tier of rocket. And then we do this twice for Venus as well. I guess also some meteoric iron, so I might spend some time traveling around for that. Let's just go there and then we'll come back to this. And we go. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. It'd be really unfortunate if it did. And I guess it's kind of common sense. I don't have any blocks blocking the rocket because it's gonna explode. I still remember back in GT&H, I launched the rocket without having enough fuel, and the thing tried to fly up, and then it just crash landed down and blew up. It was not fun. So if you really wanted to be sure, which I should have, you should really take extra fuel, extra oxygen, but I am lazy and I'm just gonna go for it. I guess we'll see what happens when we actually get there. Let's go to the moon. Launch. Where's the moon? It's not loading. Oh no, it's there. You see the black space? Yeah, that's loading. We have arrived. So this is what I was not really sure about. Did it retain the fuel in there or do I have to refill it? It did not retain the fuel. Okay, so I made a mistake. I don't know how to get the fuel out of there, so I'm probably going to have to die and come back. Let me actually pick up my rocket before anything else bad happens. So really the main things you have to do on the moon. Well, first of all, to complete the quest, I need a couple of these moon rocks, right? Go a little bit underground and pick those up. It's these gray ones. That should be it. Yeah. So this is where some people have issues with Galacticraft, me included somewhat. The main issue being that it's very empty. There's not much to do here, but I like to think of Galacticraft not as its own mod, but it should be really used to support. For example, oh, look at that. There's a village here. Yeah, villages do spawn with grass. Don't ask how it's growing. I don't know. I don't understand how it works either. We can even go in here and actually see little alien villagers. Oh, we might be able to fill the rocket with this. I'll come back to this, but I guess what I was trying to say was some people may have issues with Galacticraft because it feels so empty, but there's creative ways to use this. And then the best example I have is Divine Journey 2, actually. One of the main reasons why I really loved that modpack, might be spoilers, but he was able to do puzzles to solve on the moon so that you had other reasons to go here instead of just, going here for the sake of it. So it actually created like a separate structure, and there's like a lot of puzzle inside it. And he did that for each of the different dimensions you would go to for Galacticraft. So it was pretty interesting. That's just an example of what I'm trying to say, that just because you have a simple dimension, there's always something you can do with it. And that's not to say that Compact Claustrophobia didn't do the right thing, because the majority of the focus for this pack was being in that box. So this is just kind of an afterthought, I think. And that's okay too, I understand. Oh, but this is also something we should be looking for, are these meteors. It takes a while to break them, but they give us the meteoric iron, and we use that for the next tier of rocket. Oh, is that it? Yeah, yes, this is it. There we go. Let's drink our night vision potion. And then get ready with the golden apples. And we go. I think you can find spawners in here of stuff, but what I want to collect is as much resources as possible so I can actually escape out of here. The good thing about flight is like I can ignore most of the mobs. That's a notch apple. Let's eat it right now. Endermen, I think, are usually passive. I need you to blow up. There we go. Oh, I guess that's it. Can I just shoot you? Oh yeah, you're gonna be like that, right? I think I should be able to be okay. Yeah, I'm fine as long as I have flight. I think what this boss does is he actually just throws you into the lava. But I have flight, so you can't actually reach me. In your face. You had no chance. Makes a real loud noise also. And this guy's gonna drop a key. We get a bunch of levels for him. Thank you. And hopefully we get what we need. Rocket schematic tier 2. Yes, we do. So the next challenge is actually figuring out how to get out of here. I'm pretty sure we're fine. I have some oxygen left over. That should give me enough time to find a way to escape. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that there's a way to escape the moon. So let's just say I did this on purpose to give myself an extra challenge, right? And ignore the fact that I was lazy. And I think what we want to do is take advantage of this moon village, because I think this is going to give us everything we need to be able to make the fuel loader. Okay, here we go. I need to give you enough for a fuel canister. Thank you. And enough for the battery. Oh, I think we made it. So look at our little setup over here. We have, double chests. We got a little farm going on. Where did the power go? You lied to me. Oh, no. It said it had charge, didn't it? I got scammed. I got scammed. That's what it's gonna be. He scammed me, and now I will die. All right, I guess this is it. I'm gonna call it a loss over here. I'm gonna put all my stuff away, and then try to find a way back over here. So unfortunate that it had to happen like that. Like I'm not lying. It said battery charged, and I guess it got eaten somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Goodbye. And of course, it's gonna make me walk. The walk of shame back to my base. I don't have the warp set to my actual base. Here we go. Home sweet home. I made it. I was starting to starve too. It wasn't looking too good. And of course, it had to be nighttime. I'm also gonna set the home command. I think it works like this. Okay, I think I'm ready to recover all of my stuff on the moon. So just to show you guys, I made another rocket. Yeah, it wasn't that bad, honestly. This time I'm going to bring my refinery and fuel loader. I couldn't figure out a way to get the fuel out of the fuel loader, but I know we have oil canisters on a little moon base, so I can use that in the refinery I'm also going to take our oxygen collectors because I'm going to spend a little bit of time out there getting meteoric iron because we need this stuff for the tier 2 plate. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but I'll spend a little bit getting a couple of this stuff. And let's double check if I actually have fuel in there. Yes, we do. So I should be good to go. I'm even going to take reliable source of power. Hopefully it doesn't get deleted. If it does, oh well. I'm also going to take some leaves with me so I can charge up the oxygen collector. I guess I didn't show it too much, but yeah, I also have the full oxygen gear, right? So don't think I forgot about that either. It's really important. Oh, it's going to land right on top of the other one, right? Hopefully it doesn't mess anything up. Can I use the canister to pick up the fuel? Oh, that's how you do it. You need a canister. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I don't think I have a way to get the other one out, so let me just break the first one. I broke both of them at the same time, probably because of sweeping edge. A concern here is that I have no idea where my stuff is. I don't have like a good map. I know I've already explained it a couple of times, so I'm going to have to wander around. I think it's this way. And this time I don't have flight, and this time it is also night outside, so I am scared. We should be fine though. Okay, I've been wandering around for a little bit, and I'm going to do something a little, not cheaty, but something a server owner might make a use of. I actually can open up one of the files over here and actually see the position of where my death happened. And it says here negative 1760, 72, and 1564. That will be that way. I was going in the complete wrong direction. Okay, I guess we're going to go this way. I see a village. I see a ton of trees. I think I made it. But I got my stuff back. Hello, I have returned. You, sir, I'm going to leave a negative Yelp review on your account because, geez, you got me scammed and then I died. I still don't know what happened with the battery because it should have had power. The UI said it has power unless some weird bug happened. I don't know what happened. All right, so this has fuel now. I think I'm going to hang around for a little bit longer because I need to pick up meteoric iron. Okay, we'll go ahead and stick with 32 for now. I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough, but if not, then I can always just come back for more. I'm ready to get out of here. That's the one downside of having an open roof is that you get rained on. But good thing it's not like GT&H where all the stuff just explodes if it's in the rain. And then to unlock the next tier of schematic, you just have to go over here, unlock schematic, and now we have tier 2 rocket. Next up is to actually craft the next tier of rocket, and it's pretty much about the same stuff except for these heavy duty plates, which is going to need the tier 1 plates plus compressed meteoric iron. And now just go ahead and turn it all into the plates. There's some other stuff you can do with this, but I don't really need any of this stuff. I actually did run out of oil, but I also made this really big reservoir just to be able to see if I can pick up an entire pool of it. But while I was grabbing it, I was also crafting the heavy duty plates and all of the other components. And I think we have enough to actually make the tier 2 rocket. There it is. Tier 2 achieved. It's a little bigger than the first one. I don't actually know how much these store. I'm assuming maybe one canister. Let's see how much a single canister can fill up. It looks like this guy can fill like 1.25, 1.3, something like that. It's a little more than one, so I have to give it 2 cells. Double check, triple check. I got all my oxygen gear set up. Oh, no. Before that, I need the thermal protection stuff. I forgot about this. So we're actually going to have to craft this. Oh, it's not expensive at all. It's just wool and redstone. I guess I'm used to GT&H again. Stuff's so expensive there. Let's go ahead and put it on. And now we look a little more stylish with our colorful lining. Triple check, quadruple check. Am I good to go? Energy, cryogenic chamber to sleep the night, fuel loader to load up our rocket. We got extra fuel, extra oxygen, a ranged weapon. I'll put that right there. Food, our flight token, and night vision. I probably forgot something. It always happens. Every single time I play Galactic Craft, I always forget something. And Mars we go. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Yeah, traveling to Mars spawns you in a little balloon for whatever reason. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I won't really bore you with the whole traveling between planets thing because it's very repetitive. It does about the same thing. But all I'm looking for right now is the dungeon and a couple more meteoric iron. Oh, is that the dungeon already? Oh yeah, it is. Oh, I found it pretty quickly. Lucky us. Drink our night vision potion, litter on another planet, and then eat our golden apple. And we'll go fight. And by fight, I mean dodge a lot of the mobs because I don't want to deal with them. What's in here? This is actually pretty helpful because I can turn this into Dash, which does take a while to craft. Unbreaking 3 is a good book to find. It's a very green dungeon. Lots of creepers in here. And this is probably my favorite boss out of all of the Galactic Craft ones. It heavily reminds me of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time if you guys have played it. You know where you're fighting Ganondorf, knocking back those little light balls. That's what I always think of whenever I fight this thing. And this is how you hit the guy. I don't think there's a way to actually hurt him without blowing him up like this. Easy. You had no chance. And look at that. Baby creepers. I'm sorry, but you guys have to go. Alright, got him. And then we got the tier 2 dungeon key. Oh, look at that. He dropped a little bit of glowstone. Thank you. What's in here? Tier 3 rocket. Thank you. So I'm back on the moon looking for some more meteoric iron. And it's kind of funny how it looks like when you're flying in the air like this in third person. Looks kind of goofy, right? So I did build some of the parts for the tier 3 rocket. Mostly the boosters, the heavy nose cone, and the engine. We're still missing the rocket fins and all of these plates here. And I did the math. 4 rocket fins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meteoric iron per rocket fin. So that's 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 34 more plates of meteoric iron that I'm going to need. So I need 34 more of these meteors. I have 15, and I just heard one land, right? Yeah, this one right there. Paid actor. But I'm just going to spend some more time getting more of these meteors, and then we'll get to building the next rocket. Oh, there it is, the last one. Finally. Man, this took a while to pick up. Usually right about now, I'll be giving some good hints on how to find more meteors, but I actually don't really know of a good way to do that. I was just flying aimlessly until they spawned. It took a while, but now we have 35. That should be enough for the tier 3 rocket. Plates, fins, engine, booster, and nose cone. Tier 3 rocket. Sweet. How big is this one? It's quite large. So before I go on, I actually wanted to plan for some stuff. All we have to do in Venus pretty much is to pick up the rock. I don't think there's anything else for us right there. Yeah, this solar dust, I think this is from Venus using this solar ore here, but I don't think it's actually used for... Yeah, we can make solar array wafer. I can't say that. Solar array wafers. And then these are crafted into solar array panels. And then you just get solar power, which we don't really need power right now. We have a lot of it from our reactors. So I don't think there's much else for us in Venus, but I still need to go for the rocks over here. And then I realized that I kind of forgot to pick up the stuff from Mars, so I have to go back as well. But I should plan for getting everything I need for the Astro Miner next. I don't really know what this does. This will be my first time ever making this thing. So we first need to find the schematic for this. I don't actually know. Maybe I can find it in Venus, actually. That might be where we get it. So we might have to actually go into the dungeon to find that. Everything here doesn't look too expensive except for these Orion drives. Not too bad, but I do need to get silk-touched ores. And I don't really have a good way of enchanting. So my solution to that is to craft a arcane ensorcellator. I think that's how you pronounce it. This guy can actually force enchantments by giving it some XP, a book, and a random item. And if I look up Silk Touch, that is an option with glowstone. So let's go ahead and make this guy so I can get myself Silk Touch. I think the recipe is asking for 5,000, right? So I guess you're just gonna have all of it. I don't have enough XP. How do I get more? And we have Silk Touch. Our bedrock pick already has fortune, so I think what I'm gonna do is make a dash pick. Thank you. How many levels am I going to need to actually enchant this thing? 4 levels. I also forgot to mention, but I used some of the books we had to enchant my equipment. Enchantments for the bedrock boots, the pickaxe, and then the bow especially is actually overpowered now. I got it Infinity and Multi-Shot 3, so it actually shoots 3 arrows per burst. And I think if they all hit at the same time, it does a lot of damage. So like pretty much anything dies in one hit. It's so strong. Like watch Creeper. Rest in pieces. Cows. They had no chance. Okay. Dash pick, Silk Touch. And we'll be using the Silk Touch pick to get some of the ores that we're going to need for the Orion Drive. So I'm looking for cheese, dash, ilmenite, coal, redstone, diamond, lapis, and gold. So I'm going to need 5 each of these, right? And I guess we'll start off in each of the different planets. I should be ready for everything. No. Let's spend some time actually charging up our oxygen tank so we can be out there for quite a while. Okay, that should be everything ready for our trip. I went a little bit overkill with all the fuel canisters, just in case, because I'm going to be traveling between different planets, or celestial bodies, right? Because they're not all planets. But the first one we'll go to is back to the moon. Where's the cheese? There's one right here. 2 right here. 3. Wait, wrong pick. I'm supposed to use a dash pick for Silk Touch. Yeah, okay, good thing it works, because it would have been unfortunate if it didn't. I'm okay with going back to the moon as long as I don't have to find any more meteors, because that took up all of my time. I honestly probably would have released this episode a day sooner if I didn't have to look for meteors. That's how much time it took. Hello, mobs. No chance. Cheese ore. 2 and 3. That should be everything I need. 1 more for the road. Thank you. Okay. That should be all of them. Cheese ore completed. Next step is to visit Mars for the dash. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Okay, and before I forget, I need Mars stone, which is the darker red stuff. That's regolith, whatever that means. This is what we're looking for, yep. Oh, of course you have to be the cooked version, right? That's why we have a Silk Touch pick. Thank you. Quest complete. What was I looking for? Dash ore. I actually haven't seen any. So I might have to find a cave. Hello, Enderman. No, I'm not trying to mess with you. Who are you? Also an Enderman? I'm not trying to mess with you either. I'm pretty sure I would get destroyed by Enderman right now. I'm not trying to fight. I think it's kind of like a standard in any mod pack I play. Endermen are always really difficult to fight. They're always really tough. I guess they spawn in only veins of 1. No, they spawn in big veins. Okay, this should be enough. And now I don't really know if there's anything else to do in Mars. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I'm finding myself out of here. I'm completely lost. I guess I'm gonna dig up. I guess I'm gonna have to dig up. I usually don't like digging up in Mars because sometimes you hit one of those massive cliffs and you can be digging up for hours. Okay, let's put the rocket pad down and refill the rocket up again. I think we're done on Mars. Right, yeah, because the next step is to go to the asteroid belt for ilmenite. But let's also take a pit stop in Venus so I can complete the quest for that. So I was doing a little bit of research about the shield generator, because this goes in this last slot over here. You can't actually craft it, but I looked it up and you actually get it in the Venus dungeon. And it's actually extremely useful because it protects your armor from all damage, meaning it's basically unbreaking infinity. So I definitely want that. We're also on a timer once we get to Venus because if I remember correctly, Venus actually has acid rain, which is gonna hurt your armor over time. So once we get to Venus, I think we're gonna have to rush for the dungeon and try to find the shield controller as fast as possible. And let's get going. This should be filled up now. Let's go. Actually, I'm lying. I think we have to go back to Mars. I looked it up just to be sure, and we do find the Astro Miner schematic on Mars. So we're going to have to go through a couple more dungeons first. But yeah, we're going to have to spend some time looking for the other dungeons for that schematic. I don't think there's another way to get this. But yeah, the internet did tell me that I have to get this in tier 2 chests, which is Mars. It's giving me memories from something. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Have you guys ever played that Mario Kart 64 level, Chocolate something? Let me look it up, actually. Choco Mountain. Yeah, it reminds me of Choco Mountain. Man, that's a classic game. I don't know what's making me think about it. No, yeah, like look at it. It's the same color. You got really big mountains. This is definitely Choco Mountain from Mario's Kart 64. You can't deny it. Oh, looks like we found the dungeon. All right, you guys remember this, right? Can I really not hurt him? No, so you can't hurt him with basically anything. You gotta do the Ganondorf thing. I guess you can also think about it as volleyball. Okay, I think I found the meta. Just stand on top of him and spam. Alright, hopefully this one has the schematic. Nope. I guess I'm gonna have to find another one. Fine. Alright, here we go. No. Oh, come on. And there it is, though. Okay, 4th time's the charm. Jeez. And next up is Venus. It's pretty dangerous in Venus. I think it actually damages your armor over time. I remember it was like that in Divine Journey 2. Wait, how high am I? Okay, I'm only 200 blocks up, okay. I was getting a little concerned. I couldn't see anything. Just watch it drop me in a pool of lava. Now we're fine. Then I should be able to get my stuff. Refill the canister. And then the quest wanted the surface rock. Venus soft rock. Venus hard rock. Yeah, that's the rain. It does hurt your armor. Yeah. So we're on a timer. I just need a couple of this stuff here. No, it just straight up happens. Okay, I don't like this. Let's try to hurry up here. No, it's still hurting my armor even if it's not raining. But the dungeon should be not there. What are you? What is that? I've never seen that before. Crashed probe. Oh. I didn't know you can get some of these goodies in here. That scares me. Should I touch it? Radioisotope core. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like how it's hurting our armor, so I'm going to spend a couple, probably seconds just looking for the dungeon. If I can't find it, I'm going to bail. Because aside from that, I don't think there's really much reason to be in Venus. Because we don't have to get any of this stuff. Ilmenite ore, I'm pretty sure you can get it on the asteroid belt. No, I think I'm going to bail. I'm running out of time, and I still have to fuel up the rocket. So I'm going to call it quits here. If I do need the shield generator for whatever reason, I'll be sure to come back. But I don't think we actually need it. Oh, we're cutting it real close. I mean, I can always just take it off, but I feel like I'm going to lose my helmet if I drop it. Repairing it is not too bad. I just have to pick up some bedrock. Which we have the bedrock pick for that. Not a problem. And next up is the asteroids. I think the last thing we're going to need to do out here in Galacticraft. I think asteroids is my favorite Galacticraft dimension because it's just so... I'm trying to find the word that I'm trying to say. Existentialist. There it is. Yeah. That's the kind of feeling that I get from this. So what we're looking for here is ilmenite, and it should spawn in these asteroids. I don't know exactly which one. What about you? Oh, you actually have stuff in here. Oh, what the heck? You have a whole biome in there. I didn't know this existed. Yeah, look at that. If I wanted glowstone, I can get glowstone here. Yeah, in this sort of place, you absolutely need some kind of flight because otherwise you'll just fall into the abyss. Yeah, I also don't have any night vision, so it's going to be a little bit dark. I apologize for that. You just jumped off. Goodbye. Can I put him out of his misery? Oh, he disappeared. Poor guy. I don't know how that's going to come out in the video, but the poor skeleton just jumped off into the abyss. Look how freaky this is. I'm just flying in the middle of nowhere. I don't even get the same feeling flying through the end. Yeah, but I'm having trouble finding the ilmenite. I think it's within the rocks now that I think about it. I don't know if I can find it floating out here. Oh, what the heck? I can find diamonds here? I didn't know this. I was just digging through an asteroid. Okay, I guess we can find diamonds here. That's good to know. Oh, it's a lot of diamonds. You know what? This might be the way we complete this diamond quest, if I think about it. What is this? 500 times 9? 4,500 diamonds? Maybe this is it? Have a miner out here that does this? Because this is a lot. Some quick maths, right? 4,500 diamonds divide by 4, right? Ballpark number is 1,100 because if I assume max efficiency or max fortune. So really the Astro Miner's main purpose was to get diamonds. So maybe I'll just set it up out here. So now I'm curious if it's any asteroid that has a couple of ice on it. I'm going to take a look. Maybe each one has a different kind of ore inside it. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, look at that. It's an entire biome in here. I really like this. I didn't know this about Asteroid Belt. I thought it was just a bunch of rocks, but no, there's like a whole environment in each one. That's really cool. I guess it's paying reference to how it's said that comets and asteroids are actually where life began. Anything related to space stuff is really interesting. And so it looks like the big, dense ice asteroids have actual biomes inside them. And maybe these small ones have different ores inside them. Let's double check here. No, it doesn't look like that. I think I've decided to just go back to the overworld and get some more resources going. I can even upgrade my pick to have efficiency 3 because I picked up a book so it can mine a little faster. Hey, excuse me. I'm talking here. Oh, wait, what the heck is that? I'm just nerding out about Galacticraft over here. I'm finding a lot of new stuff I've never known before. I'm not even going to shoot you. You deserve that. That skeleton, he and his friend are going to travel forever in the abyss. Oh, wait, no. I think I've seen this. Yeah. I've seen this before, but in some other playthrough. I can't exactly remember where, but I think we can actually get Orion drives in here now that I think about it. Oh, you know where I've seen this before. It's Divine Journey 2. I played that pack. That's right. Energy storage cluster and a scam battery. Of course, it doesn't have charge. I got scammed last time. Astro Miner base. This is what I'm actually trying to craft. How expensive are these? Pretty annoying to craft. And it does say we want a 2x2x2 cube of these, which is 8. Well, look at that. Pretty sure there's more than 8 here. Let's take them all. Tile.space_glass_clear_tin.name. Try saying that 3 times fast. Let's break it. But before that, cool looking structure interrupted me. I think I was saying that I was going to get out of here, go back to the overworld, upgrade our stuff, and also refill because I'm kind of running low on air. So, and also get some night vision potions especially, so I can actually see out here. Okay, I spent some time upgrading our stuff using the books that we found in the dungeons. I even upgraded our satchel to resonant tier, put a bunch of our goodies in here, fueled canisters, night vision potions, and pretty much everything else. One thing I need to do before we head out is actually fix our armor. Our bedrock helmet was about to break. And the funny thing is that you can't actually repair it with more bedrock. It doesn't look like it's gonna let me. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is just make another set of bedrock armor. And while we're doing that, we can also look for the other ores that we're gonna need. For example, coal is one of them. Let's do some good old-fashioned vanilla Minecraft ore mining here. Well, it doesn't look like there's much in that ravine. I'm going to have to look somewhere else for stuff. Maybe down here? Oh, this looks promising. No, never mind. Wait, what the heck? Wait, this is from the second compact machine dimension, isn't it? Wait. Wait, what? That looks so familiar. Does it just spawn you in the real world? How did I find this by accident? Kind of close to 0, 0. Look at that. It actually spawns us here. Yeah. Like, this is where you actually spawn. Somewhere right here, right? Okay, if it's the same world generation, we have the same lava lake over there, the same little whatever right here. If it's the same generation, there should be the pit over here with the other stuff. No. This had the iron. This is where we found iron, I think. If it's the same generation, there's a mineral forest over here. Yeah. It was a mineral forest. There it is. I still remember with the ravine, and this is where we found everything else. Oh, look at that. I'm surprised that I completely found that by accident. I was just flying around my home base. I guess I was right next to it this whole time. But yeah, we should be able to find the other stuff here. This is where I found gold. And the redstone was actually down over here. Next to a lava pit, I think. How's my memory? Oh, I think my memory's working out for me. Yeah, this is where I found the redstone. See, I remember. I'm not X-raying, I promise. Yeah, we just need lapis. I don't think I found lapis in that other compact machine dimension because I don't think it was spawning there. It was just the basic stuff. I gotta say that was a pleasant surprise. I really like seeing that. But it doesn't look like it was the exact same world. So I don't really know what the pack dev did to differentiate the compact machine because it wasn't exactly the same. Like all the stuff that I put down wasn't there. And I'm pretty sure if I were to teleport back in the glitch machine, all the stuff that I set down would still be there. And there it is. Just one more. Okay, so that should be everything we need for the Astro Miner except for Ilmenite. So let's go back home and pick up the rest of the stuff. Let's go look for some bedrock so I can get some new armor. I'm saying look for it as if it's hard to find. You just dig straight down. Okay, we got our armor back. I'm gonna just put the rest of it on an armor stand so we can display it nice and neat. Okay, I just made a couple of more night vision potions because I used a couple of them trying to get the ores I was looking for. And while I was looking for that stuff, I also got 2 stacks of TNT. Let's get a flint and steel with us, and this should help us blast our way through the asteroids. I'm just thinking about it, but what happens if, like, the entry pod just goes through the abyss? Do I just die? Am I going to be joining those skeletons that I made so much fun of earlier? All right, let's put this in our back pocket. And we have a little bit of night vision active. Just a minute. Is this a different one or the same one? No, this is a different one. Let's see if there's any new goodies in here. It looks like it's pretty much the same thing as the other one, except like it's made out of stone. You got the nether wart right here, and then you got the suspicious fluid. A single piece of asteroid rock. Oh, brewing stands. Hello. What do you got in here? Potion of harming. Yeah, don't drink that. Why are you all bad? You're all bad potions. So now I'm curious. Now that we have night vision, can we actually spot ilmenite on these little chunks of rock? Oh, yeah, we can. I was not able to see this before. Okay, so I just need to find 5 of you. Oh, poor guy. Watch this, watch this. Watch this, watch this. Oh, dang. Cut that out of the video. Okay, part of me wants to touch this. But another part of me thinks it's gonna die. Do I dare touch it? I'm gonna touch it, I'm gonna touch it. Oh, dang, okay. I mean, that's probably a good thing. It would have been really bad if I just died out here in the middle of nowhere. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of convinced that it's just tough to find ilmenite. There's our second one. As soon as I said that, right, it just shows up. I'm going to spend a couple of more minutes trying to find more of this, and if I can't, I'm going to blast a hole in the asteroids. You know what, let's just do that right now. I might as well. I know we all love to see explosions. It's probably not going to blow up too much, right, but it's still always cool to see. How much good? Oh, okay. So it looks like, wait, what is this? Iron shard. Oh, that's right. If you break an ilmenite ore without silk touch, you actually get shards of iron and titanium. That's what it is. So from what I can tell, if there's ores in an asteroid, there's a lot of them. So it might be a good idea to look into asteroids for more diamond. I should have kept track of where that other one was, but yeah, we're never finding that again. Okay. I guess we'll come back to here. I do want to see what the Astro Miner is all about. And I think this is probably our best bet to find diamonds, is to just let the Astro Miner loose. However it works. I don't know how it works. So let's go back home. Okay, I should have everything to build the thing. I already put the schematic in here also, but it's going to be all of this stuff here. And there we go. So this is the first time I've ever played with the Asteroid Miner. I have no idea what this is. Oh, you also hold it up. Yeah, look at that. That is very high definition. Okay, let's go see what this is about. I'm pretty sure I can put it down anywhere. I don't want it to dig into our base because that would be pretty bad. And the tooltip here says 2x2x2 cube. That should be like that. Okay. That thing looks a little complicated. So if I put it here, does it like just mine in a straight line? Oh, yeah. It was waiting for max power. Look at it go. Okay, so it keeps going until it's not able to, or what? I don't understand. What if I right click this guy? Can I control what it does? Doesn't look like it. What happens if I stand in front of you? Nothing. It just gives me industrial hemp seeds. Good to know. I don't know. I guess it's gonna keep going. Oh, look at that, a dungeon. I got distracted here. Hang on, let's take care of this. Let's see what goodies are in here. Ender pearl, sure. Diamond horse armor. Extra diamonds. Never hurt anybody. Why are you down there? So it's mining in like a cross shape, not a 3x3 shape. And I guess it's just looking for stuff. I don't really know. I think it's going to mine a certain area. Maybe it goes all the way straight and then down. So I probably want to set this guy loose on the asteroid belt because that's where we're going to get most of the diamonds. But I guess while that guy's returning, let's take a look at what the next quests are. We got a couple of things to do. The easy ones is, of course, water and lava. Iron, we can actually just do this right now. Let's go back home, actually. Yeah, we did automate the iron already, so I can actually just pick this up. And just go ahead and eat all of it. I don't care. And that is the first quest completed. Oh, we're almost done. We are now at the finish line. Bedrock, mining 100 bedrock is probably not too bad. I might want to invest in a beacon to speed it up, but I'll save that for later. Right now, we want to complete the easy ones. So better questing does have this object submission station, and it looks like this quest does give it to us. But this is how we're going to submit, like, fluids and stuff. I hope you guys haven't forgotten about our passive box, this monstrosity. Now that we have flight, it's actually easier to go around here. So I do want that dense water source. All right, I guess we're drilling through everything just to get into that. Okay, so we have the dense water source now. If I just put it there and tell this to do that, does it work like that? Okay, so I could not figure out how this thing works. The internet isn't really helping me out either. So I tried to like pump water through like Galacticraft fluid pipes. I even tried Ender IO, fluid ducts, everything. I even put the tank directly on top of it, and even tried clicking with the water bucket and then putting a hopper with the water bucket. I tried everything and I could not get this to work. But I found out some interesting things. What you can actually do is just detect submit, and it actually does take the water from whatever inventory you have. And this does work with portable tanks. So if I were to fill up this guy, where did it go? Oh, the man disappeared. He's gone. Oh, never mind. He's just glitched. Okay, so if I were to fill up this guy, and then he has 20,000, right? If I were to submit, 42,000. So it actually does work like that. So basically all I would need is one of those tanks and a resonant conversion kit, and just to fill it up twice. Because this is 1,000,000 millibuckets, so that's just going to be 2 full tanks. So another thing we can do for the lava, I've been saying, oh, we should pump it, but wait, we actually have a solution for lava already. So if you guys remember how we have our obsidian factory, we can actually adapt this to give us lava instead of obsidian. So what I'm going to do to fix this is to not push into the obsidian so that it just gets stuck here forever. And then I can actually just get conduits over to this tank instead. And connect them over there. Just like that. So now we should be getting lava over here. So then I just need to fill this tank up twice. So that should happen eventually. We'll come back to that. But the water should be finished now. Yes. Let's go ahead and submit this guy. Awesome. Okay. One of the next things I want to deal with is diamonds. So let's go check out our Astro Miner, see how he did. Oh, wow. Okay, this guy's actually pretty strong. Okay, so I think I definitely want to set this up. And another question I had is, oh, he does work with Silk Touch. Look at that. Okay, so if I break you. Yeah, he spills everything on the floor. So what happens to the Astro Miner? Does it just get dropped on the floor? Let me go see. Oh, he's just right there. Sir, I told you to recall. How do I get him out? Can I just break him with a... Okay, I can just break them. And then actually processing the diamonds, I could easily get Fortune 3, but I think to automate it, integrate a dynamic squeezer, because this is like 2.5 diamonds per. And I think it's like the best rate we can do this. I'm actually kind of surprised with how fast we're going through these endgame challenges. These two might take a little bit. The poop is probably going to take a while though. This one needs 100,000 poop. And how much do we have in storage? Only 2.6 thousand. I can definitely upgrade this by mass producing pulped bioblend. We have a ton of sawdust by accident, yeah. But the pulped bioblend stuff, we can do this, and I think we're going to rely on the phytogenic insulator, because right now we use sugar canes in a garden cloche, and it's just really slow. We have the standard wrench from Galactic Craft itself. Okay, you can point it. So I want to point it at that distant asteroid over there. I don't know what's in there, but I'm just going to point it there and see what it does. And then be sure to chunk load this. I'm going to do this. Now, I don't know if Miner itself chunk loads or if I have to chunk load its path. I don't know. One way to find out. So I'm going to leave this and do whatever, and then I guess we'll come back later and see what it does. Off you go. Give me diamonds. Yeah, I don't really know the rules behind this guy. Like, does it keep going? Is there like a pattern it follows, or does it just try to find ores? Do you have x-ray vision? I don't know. Back at the base, how's our lava doing? 500. We are done with the lava quest. I didn't actually have to pump it. That's good to know. Complete. And you can just stay there if I need more lava. Okay, next up is actually getting the bedrock. I can mine for this, no problem. But is there a way to like get haste or something similar? So we have two options, I'm thinking. We can just make haste or a max-sized beacon, and I think this is the route I want to take. Let's be a little extra with it. I'm going to need another nether star for this, though, which means another wither fight. I'm going to redeem myself this time. I'm going to cheese this fight. And I could have sworn that you're able to build it like this. No, so it doesn't like this block. So let's see if I can build them like this. Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure this works because it did work in GTNH, which is 1.7. Are you stuck? Oh, you have no chance. Oh, look how strong our bow is. Okay, this guy's still beating me up pretty good. I guess my sword isn't that strong. Okay, chill. I take it back, we're not actually that strong. Okay, chill. Jeez, the wither's a lot tougher than I remember. Okay. Our second most scuffed wither fight of all time. But this should mean a beacon. It's been a while since I've built a vanilla beacon, so I don't actually know how much iron I'm going to need for this. What I also don't know is its area of effect, so I think I'm going to build it down there. Okay, that should give us plenty of space for this little project of ours. I can make more space. Let's do this. I just want to blow things up. That always seems to happen whenever we're at the end of a mod pack. I just start blowing things up. I know you guys do it as well. It's okay. It's pretty funny. I don't exactly know how big it is. Is it a 9x9? I don't know if that's right. I guess one way to find out, right? And of course, I built it off by a couple blocks so you can't see the sky. So if I were to give you haste and then secondary power haste, just give it an iron ingot. There we go. I should have haste too, right? Yeah. How fast is this? It's not that much faster. It's a big help though. I don't think I'm going to go through the effort of making efficiency 5. And I think it's not worth the time because I can definitely mine 100 bedrock by the time I get that book. So I'm just going to mine it like this right now. Oh, you know what? I'm not getting the haste effect. I guess I'm not in the range. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is step up and down for a little bit just to get the bonus. Yeah, okay, that's much faster. I can't really build it that much lower. It's kind of bedrock, right? So we'll just have to stick with this. Oh, you know what? I have another idea. The bedrock breaker. So I don't really know what this does. I don't know actually. Let's give this a piece of redstone, I guess, or a redstone torch is probably the best bet. I can just move this around. Did you mine the block under it? Yes, you did. So if I were to put it on top and a torch. Okay, like that, yes. How far does it go? Looks like it's just the block under it. I don't think this is a very good solution. I have to know what happens if I stand under it. Don't try this at home. No? You would think. I'm wearing bedrock. Why doesn't it break? I guess not. Okay, but that's not really going to be a solution. Okay, so I got a pattern for this. Check it out. I just have to wait for the boost and then jump in, and that should give me enough time for like 3 to 4 bedrock. And once I mine that, I just go back up to the beacon and recharge the haste. And 100. Submit. There it is. Next quest completed. It took us a little bit to do that. I'm going to leave the beacon right there though. So let's go check on our astro miner next to see how much stuff it picked up. So it looks like it did go all the way over here. And then I guess it turned around. Does look like it's working. I don't think it picked up anything valuable right there though. And it's like laying waste to the structure over here. I don't know why you're doing this, but I guess you do you. Maybe return to base with some stuff. Let's check this. Oh. But I think when it comes down to it, diamonds is probably going to be our last. All this other stuff we can automate, pretty sure, especially these s'more stuff. Yeah, this is just wheat and sugar, so we can do this. But the diamonds is going to be our last bet. So I'm going to leave this guy running for a little bit and then focus on the other challenges. Okay, I guess we're going to focus on the more s'more quartz minget next. It's a lot of words and a lot of food and saturation. This one is pretty much just making patterns for it. Man, this is making me snackish right now. I could really go for some s'mores. Okay, so I spent a little bit of time adding recipes for this 4 s'mores minget. And it looks like all we're missing is cocoa beans, gelatin, wheat, and milk. So gelatin's an interesting one because if I check the recipe for this, you can either use raw pork chops or fish. And it is a good thing that we have our little fish set up over here. We should be fine with just this, so that should be gelatin taken care of. And for the wheat and the cocoa beans, I just need to set up phytogenic insulators for those. But I think the milk is going to be a fun challenge because I don't think there's a way to produce it without actually milking a cow. So what I want to try to do is get an auto clicker and a ton of buckets. Let's try this. So really I only need like 83 buckets of this stuff. So I can do this manually, right? But I just want to try a little automation. So what happens if I give it a bucket? Okay, it does drop it. That's what I was curious about too. If it doesn't have a place to put the milk, it'll just drop it on the floor. Okay. I got some ideas. Okay, this is probably way more than I need to do for this, but I just want to have some fun. So I'm going to give a little bit of power over here. And then I'm going to see what happens when I give it the most speed. Oh, yeah. That's more milk than I probably know what to do with. And then give this a chest with an item duct and a servo. So one potential issue we have is milk getting clogged in here. I don't want it to do that. But I guess if I don't run it too fast, we should be okay. This is way more than 80 buckets of milk that we're going to need for the smingets. So we just need to go through all of this. And then I will just give this not like that. I'll just give this a accumulator next and filter this to milk. Whitelist milk. And then I'll go ahead and output on the right to a cache. And just like that, I think that's our milk accounted for. Kind of. We still have to figure out a way to turn it into the liquid form, which is what the recipe actually wants. No, 7 is pretty good. I think 8 is way too fast because then the servo can't keep up. Okay, so now we have how much milk? 121 buckets of milk in there. And the next step is to turn this into the liquid form, which is what the recipe expects. And I think really the only thing we can do is a fluid transposer. I should be able to put this guy down here. And we want to set this to empty. Give it some power and upgrade this guy as much as possible. And then we can output the fluid on the right. This is a temporary solution, so I'm just gonna do the bucket part by hand. Yeah, we have 123 buckets of milk now. If I end up needing more milk, there's ways to fully automate this. I think all I would have to do is slow down the clicker so it doesn't overfill with milk buckets. And this also doesn't clog up. So yeah, this can be automated if we really need the milk, but I don't think we need to. The quest is only asking for 100 of the smingets. Okay, it's not complaining about milk anymore. Okay, so then we need to figure out the gelatin, the cocoa beans, and the wheat. So gelatin, again, we just need to throw fish stuff into a manufactory. I'm pretty sure any fish would work, so all of this would be just fine. I'm not going to make a recipe for this. I'm just going to throw what's here inside that manufactory. And then we have our manufactory right here. So I can do is give this a chest, then have an item duct and a servo. Okay, so this guy can't keep up, so you're going to need an extract upgrade. Hang on. So I'll just leave this running for a little bit. It should be done pretty soon, but there should be enough gelatin. I can actually check. Yeah, that's plenty of gelatin. We're good on that. Okay. Next step for the, not Gower, for, what's this called again? 4 s'more quad sminget. Next up we need is the cocoa beans and the wheat. And we'll set it up over here because I know you guys love this room. I for sure do. It's so fun in here. Yeah, I'll put the machines over here. It's going to unpower the garden cloche, but we're not really going to use this after we set up another phytogenic insulator for it. So I'm not too worried about it. But these guys are going to share their water source on the bottom. And then on the left part of the machines, we're going to give them an exporter with the phytogrow that we're crafting over here. So top for wheat and then bottom for cocoa beans. And then we just give them the caches on either side. So one right there and one right there. And for us to actually access it in storage, just right there and right there with external storages. So now we have an automated wheat and cocoa bean setup. So if I try to craft the 100 that I want, we just have to wait a little bit for the wheat to grow. And that's completely fine. We can do other things while we're waiting for this. And one of those things is actually setting up a better way of making poop. Because right now, if we take a look at our setup in the passive box, it's actually pretty good. It's just that we don't give this enough of the... Yeah, we just don't give it enough of the pulped bioblend. Us relying on refined storage is probably not a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and like set up a full automation for this. I think we're going to stick with cactus because compared to sugarcane, which is what we've been using, cactus doesn't have a byproduct. And it also uses less amount. So we're going to set up a phytogenic insulator for cactus. And then craft it with sawdust for the pulped bioblend. And then just shove it into this fluid transposer. I think this little setup we have here should be enough to cover it. It's just that our main issue is the lack of the pulped bioblend. So let's get that going. Okay, this is going to be really cursed, but it's the whole point of this room, right? I'm going to put the phytogenic insulator right over here. Oh, you know what I can do, actually? Let's just flip it around. Yeah, this way I have access to this side, which is where the exporter is going to be. And this guy is going to be exporting phytogrow. I just realized something. I don't have an external storage on the phytogrow, so I got to figure that out as well. I can probably just put it on the top in the front right there. Yeah. And then connect it over like that. And filter it just in case. Okay. So now the machines can get phytogrow. We get cactus, and then it's going to put this into a sawmill. So we get the pulped biomass, and this is going to get sent into a sequential fabricator. And then for this to get the sawdust that it needs, all I need to do is give it a pulverizer on the top, and then an exporter to feed it oak logs. And then I also have to teach this guy the recipe to make the pulped bioblend right there. And there we go. So I want the item to come out of here and then get sent into this fluid transposer, but I can't actually do that. So it'll just get a cache right there and then give this an external storage as well. I can probably cram a couple more machines in there, but I'm not going to try. So if I check our little poop maker, this guy should be working now. Probably too slow. I may have to like really mass produce this Because the quest is asking for 100,000. That is a lot. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of waiting time between crafts, so I think what we're going to have to do later is spam phytogenic insulators so that we craft a lot of cactus. But I'll come back to this while we let it grow for a little bit. How is our wheat and our cocoa beans doing? I think we have enough cocoa beans. We just need the more wheat. Okay, so I'm back at the asteroid belt. I just wanted to check how our astro miner is doing. So yeah, it doesn't look like it got too much stuff. It looks like it did find an aluminum ore vein. I don't know where it went for that, but it's kind of becoming apparent to me that I don't think I want to do this for the diamonds. Because I've been watching this for quite a while and it hasn't really picked up anything. So I'm trying to think of another solution. Of course, one of the ways to get it is just to like mass produce them through the high impact compactor. But I don't want to do this because this is kind of just a lot of pickaxes. It's just a lot of dash and whatnot. I don't think I want to do this. Another option is just to visit the asteroids ourselves and mine the stuff manually. But I don't think I want to do this either. But another thing I'm just thinking about now is actually excavating it. You can build an excavator if you guys don't know what this is. This pretty much just digs up resources from under the bedrock, whatever that means. And if I check for what it can pick up, one of the ore deposits is coal, which does include diamond. So I don't know if the ore deposits will run out, but I think this is something we can try. So I do want to try this because it's also something new. I don't really use the excavator too often. So I think I'm going to build this and set it up and see how good it is for the diamond. And if that's not good enough, then yeah, I'm just going to commit to mining it manually. Okay, so I should have everything I need to make the excavator. But before I can do that, I need to figure out what chunks have what ore veins. And you do that with the core sample drill. So what this guy does, it pretty much scans whatever ore vein is in a chunk. So I set up the overlay to show me where my chunks are. And probably the most efficient way you can check your chunks is to just put them in the corner right here, right? So if I put it here, it's going to check this chunk over here. And if I put it to the left, it'll check this one and so on. But you need to give this a little bit of power and then right click it and it's going to take a sample. And when it's done, you can just right click the guy and it gives you a core sample. And this pretty much tells you what's available in this chunk. So it looks like over here, it's only water. And then rinse and repeat, I can put this guy over here, right click it, and then check what it is. So it looks like it's even more water. So I'm going to do this for a little bit until I find a coal vein. Because the coal vein is where we're going to, is where we're going to find diamonds. I've been taking a bunch of samples and finding an ore sample is pretty rare already. Look at all these samples. And none of them have been the coal vein, so I don't think this is going to work out. I even made a second core sample drill to help me out. So yeah, OLOD is definitely correct for this challenge. Getting this many diamond blocks without much automation in this pack is actually kind of tricky. So I'm trying to think of multiple ways to get diamonds. Of course, we can just stick with the high impact compactor. So if I try to ask for 4,500 diamonds, it struggles to think about it, but yeah, 120,000 Hopsitude carbon fiber. If we continue down the math route, we have an 11% chance to get Hopsitude carbon fiber from a dash pick, right? So one dash pick with 1024 durability. So 1024 durability, multiply that by 11%. We're expected to get about 112 Hopsitude carbon fiber per dash pick. So if I divide 120,000 by 112, I'm going to need 1,071 dash picks if I don't deal with repairing them. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I also figured out how long this would take with auto clickers, and it's like a couple days, and I don't really want to wait that long. Another option I was thinking about was actually getting the diamond nuggets straight from a diamond pick. You know, one thing we can do is just make a lot of these. A normal diamond pick without any enchantments is not going to get enough diamond nuggets based on the chance we have to get these. But if I were to enchant it with like Unbreaking 3, yes, we would. We would actually get more diamond nuggets than what it takes to craft this diamond pick. But then it's the other like issue with I'm going to need a ton of them. I'm going to have to enchant a lot of things, and I don't think I want to do that. So really the only other option I can think of is just spending the time actually mining the ore from the asteroid belt. And this isn't too bad because the best way to process this would be using the tectonic initiator. We would not be using fortune for this because I also checked the wiki for this and it says that we expect about an average of 2.5. That's on average, right? So if we have to mine a lot of it, the tectonic initiator is going to be the better option. So I would need to mine 1,500 diamond ores for this. It sounds like a lot, but it's Minecraft and we have ways to mine ores quicker. And also, think about it in stacks. It's only 23.5 stacks. It's not a lot, honestly. And I'm pretty sure the asteroid belt gives us a ton. So that's what I'm deciding to do. I'm going to make another bedrock pick and then fully enchant this guy with silk touch and efficiency and unbreaking. And we can get all those books using the arcane and sorcellator. But we're going to need a lot of experience for this to actually fully upgrade this guy. And what better way to get experience than just killing the ender dragon? And this is where my train of thought is leading me, because fighting the ender dragon, you get like 70 levels or something like that. And then with the Tome of Knowledge, it's really easy to not be wasteful with your levels because of how Minecraft enchanting works. So you can really stretch out those 72 levels. And speaking of very far, let's hope the stronghold isn't that far away. Actually, before we go, there's something I wanted to do. We should have enough stuff to craft the smingets that we need. And then hopefully I set up all the machines correctly. I'm just going to craft it and we'll see how far it goes. And thinking about it, this also gives us a good excuse to fight the dragon, because none of the quests actually ask for us to fight it. It's a very big part of vanilla Minecraft, right? It wouldn't sit right with me if I said I beat a pack without actually fighting the dragon. So I'm going to use this as an excuse to fight it. So it's saying it's over here. It's a good thing it's not over the water because I would have been kind of mad. Let's see if I can find it in this little cave. It's like literally right there. Okay, cool. I have night vision potion. Let's take care of this. It'll also be a good idea for me to grab the bookshelves from the library. So I'm also going to be looking for that, because we don't really have a reliable way of getting leather. Yeah, I can make a cow farm, but I don't think I'm going to want to do that right now. Oh, look, it's on, like literally right here. Hello, sirs. I'm just going to break it because I didn't bring any torches. I have no idea if I made that sound correctly. Oh, there it is. Hello. Can't vein mine you, right? The vein miner is in the pack, but it's like very selective and you can only use it with a couple of tools. I guess the bedrock axe isn't one of them. What's in here? Pizza. Oh, don't mind if I do. Might as well eat that now and get a little bit of hearts. Yeah, gain 2 hearts. Thank you. Man, I can go for some pizza right now also. Geez, this pack is making me hungry. About 3.5 stacks is probably fine. Let's go fight the dragon. Okay. Eat an apple, just in case. What have you got? It looks like it's just a vanilla dragon fight. Shouldn't be too bad, especially because we have flight. I can probably shoot this guy a couple of times and probably die pretty quick. How strong is her bow? Oh, look at that. It's actually really strong. Doesn't he take headshot damage? I'm just thinking about some of the speedruns I've seen. Apparently there's some sort of glitch you can do in some earlier version of Minecraft that for some reason if you shoot an arrow at some exact spot, it'll just like insta-kill the dragon. Yes, hitbox is a little weird. Eat the marshmallow to get 1 more heart. I think I broke him. He's not moving away. Up there it is. Perfect spot. I mean, if you don't want to move, that's completely fine by me. Okay, there he goes. Easy. Just don't fly over the void because I want the XP. I don't think I'm going to worry about going to the end islands because I'm really only here for the XP. And I guess a shader grab bag, right? How do you pronounce that? Lusus Nature? Sure. Let's get the juicy XP that I came here for. 65. I was close. I thought it was 70, but 65 is actually really good. And then, so I can make sure that I don't waste it, just gotta dump it all into the book. I'm gonna need another book. That's fine. These aren't that expensive. Yeah. Oh, we might as well take the dragon egg, right? Let's take the egg. I don't think we need the egg for anything, but it's just a trophy, right? Yeah. Thank you. You can enchant it with Shimmer and Curse of Vanishing for whatever reason. Okay, if you're wondering why the video is like 8 hours long, it's because I'm going to read through this entire... No, I'm kidding. So we got a ton of XP now, and it's going to be a lot easier to enchant. So I'm looking at this now, and I don't think it's a good idea to use the in-source later to do this. For example, if I wanted Unbreaking 3, I would need 5 books of this. So 1500 times 5 is what? 7500? And I think it's gonna like basically eat up all our experience. I don't want to do that. I think the smart thing to do is just make a bunch of picks and then combine them later on. So let's go get some more bedrock for this. It's 15 bookshelves, right? I think. Okay, so I spent a bunch of time enchanting my stuff and I got pretty much the god pick. It's missing mending. I couldn't find any mending books, but this has a lot of durability, so it might just be enough. So I'm not too worried about it. If I need to repair it, I can probably use bedrock. I haven't confirmed it yet, but we'll see. I also have a lot of backup picks over here. This one is also going to be pretty good. This Unbreaking one, I just need to combine it with Silk Touch. So we have a backup pick over here if we need it. And also I took a look at our Sminget crafting and it absolutely got stuck. I'm pretty sure it's because of our fluid storage, or maybe I didn't set up some of the machines correctly. That's not what it is. We do have a lot of fluid storage space. I didn't really mention it, but I had added a lot of machines over here, and I guess they got stuck. You should be importing because you're on item. That's totally my fault. You're supposed to be set to fluids. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave this crafting, and then I will come back to this. It looks like the next step is to actually get to the asteroids and start working on mining. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually bringing over the beacon with me and rebuilding it using the building gadget, except for the actual beacon itself. So I'm probably just going to hold a lot of iron blocks with me, and then if I need to set up a beacon somewhere at an asteroid, I can just, right click and it's there. So I need to figure out, that's the wrong tool, this is a building gadget. Okay, I was looking for the copy paste gadget. Area copied, now there's nothing in here that is intrusive. Yeah, so we need 164 iron blocks. That's only like 2 stacks and something. Let's take the beacon with us. And I'm just going to leave the iron there because we have a ton of iron. Okay, so I prepared a bunch of stuff for my little trip. I got a lot of iron blocks, even more in my backpack. Some torches to light up the place because I'm too lazy to craft night vision potions. The copy paste gadget to build the beacon itself. I'm going to use a cache to store all of the diamond ore that we're going to be picking up. And then a battery for general use. This should last us pretty much the entire trip. And for us to stay there indefinitely, I'm going to be taking the oxygen collector and the compressor. And that's what these leaves are going to be for. So I can have a steady supply of oxygen. And I think with that, we should be good for our little adventure. Let me double check here. Yeah, we should be good. Let's go. No, don't put me right on the creeper. No, don't you dare. Of course you put me on the creeper. At least the rocket didn't blow up. That would have been very unfortunate. You're safe, right? Yeah, you're safe. You're safe. I don't really know of a good way to find these asteroids with the good stuff in them, so I guess we're just going to do a little bit of exploration. And then if I find one, I will bring you guys with me. Oh no, torches don't work in here. I forgot. Alright, I guess it's going to be dark. Okay, so for example, this asteroid, I dug into the middle of it and it had aluminum. That's what I'm understanding about these asteroids, is that there's only like one thing it can have. I hope that's the case. So I guess we're just going to wander aimlessly until I can find some diamonds. Oh, you know what I can do for light? I can just steal these glowstone blocks. We have Silk Touch. Yeah. Let's do that. Oh. Is that diamonds? I think we found a diamond vein. It didn't take me that long, actually. It was just a couple of them, but it looks like this is a big asteroid. I learned my lesson last time. We want to put the beacon below the asteroid so that it actually works. I don't really know the range to this. Another issue is that it's probably going to get in the way of something else. You deserve that. Goodbye. Join your friends. Pretty sure I should be able to just put it like right there. Right? And then give it the beacon right there. I don't know why I just got the achievement just now. I've already done this before. I don't know the range of this. For sure it's not going to work because they got some blocks in the way. And it's going to be like this because the asteroid belt is weird. There's just a ton of little random blocks flying around. So I might get lucky. I might get unlucky. Right now we got lucky. But let's go get some diamonds. You deserve that. Join your friends. These guys keep interrupting me. Okay, I mined up pretty much all the diamond that I could see. There's probably some still hiding in the cracks behind the wall, but I don't really see any more. So I think we mined it all out. Do you want to guess how much diamond that is? It's not one. There's more. Place your guesses. How much diamonds did I get? 220. Oops. That's actually pretty good. If we follow the same trend, then 1,500 divided by, 200. So about 7.5 asteroids we're going to have to mine. That's not that bad. And this didn't take me very long at all to mine it out. It was like 10 minutes or something like that. I would say this is like a medium-sized asteroid. I hope it is, so I can find more in the other ones. Also, let's just throw away our torches because they are clearly not going to work. Let's go look for another asteroid. And also, I wasn't really getting the haste effect, so it should have been faster, but I guess I put the beacon a little too far away. I guess now I know I'm going to put it at the middle of the asteroid so I get the full effect. And yeah, I'm absolutely going to leave this block of iron there. I don't really care for it. You could have been a martyr, you fool. Okay, so finding diamonds is a little tougher than I thought. It's actually not very common that these asteroids spawn ores at all. Even less common that they're diamonds. So I just wanted to show you, this is pretty much what I do. I just dig a little bit in the, around the center of the asteroid. Hopefully I find a diamond. No, it doesn't look like this one has it either. I've been thinking about ways to actually dig through these asteroids faster. Because if I'm able to do that, that's going to save me a ton of time. So I was searching for JEI for things like bombs, TNT, drills even, lasers, I don't know, just random things. I've been looking around. But it doesn't seem like there's anything in the pack that would help. Except for one thing. High explosive cartridges from Immersive Engineering. So you would have to make the revolver for this to work. Not very expensive, it's just a bunch of steel, really. And treated wood, which we have. So I think I'm going to return to base, make the revolver and the high explosive cartridge. And this is going to give me a way to shoot explosive projectiles. I don't know if it's going to damage blocks. I hope it does. But this can be like our safe drill to drill through these asteroids a lot faster. But a good thing, our smingets are actually done. So I can submit this quest and we are now one step closer. Oh, it's not a consume quest. See, I'll keep these in my back pocket. And this should give us some extra hearts too. And revolver completed. Okay, so for us to make these projectiles, we have to get the engineer's blueprint for this. This one. Yeah. Okay, I just need gunpowder. We can craft that. And I'm going to make a ton of these explosive cartridges, so I would need a lot of these empty casings, which is just going to be a ton of copper, TNT, and some gunpowder. I just want to make a couple shells and see if that does anything. I don't really use the revolver too often, so this would also be a pretty good thing to try. Yeah, shift right click to open up the inventory, and you actually have to load it manually. Let's find a mob to shoot at. Hopefully it does damage the environment. How do I do this? Oh, okay. No, it doesn't. Alright, I guess the revolver's not gonna work. Goodbye. Okay, I'm back in the test world. I was just trying out different options on how to break through asteroids a little faster. I was trying things like different picks, using the drill from Immersive Engineering, and nothing really seemed to work faster than what I have right now. But I found the destruction gadget. This is something that's not that bad to make, and you can actually set this guy to a whole big range. So right now I have a depth of 16, and it mines up 1 in each of the directions. In other words, a 3x3. So all I need to do is just right click and that's it. So pretend that this is like a big asteroid. Not anymore. And you can even go as far as a 16 by 16 by 16 big box. Maximum destruction size is 16 by 16 by 16. Negative numbers are invalid. Okay, that sounds like some kind of overflow. But I think for our purposes, this is probably just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and make the destruction gadget. And then I'm going to need a way to charge this. So multiple options. I don't think we have access to the inventory chargers from Enter.io because these guys are kind of expensive and not everything is craftable because most of it's disabled, I think. Wait, I can actually make the flux capacitors because they do charge items in my inventory. And we're pretty rich, so this shouldn't be too bad to make. So one thing I should mention is that I guess the destruction gadget doesn't care what kind of blocks is in its area. It'll just delete everything. All right, so if I right click right there, it just deleted like literally everything. So we're probably gonna lose some diamonds, but that's okay. If it really helps me out, then I'm okay with losing a couple. Now I try to disable connected area because I thought what this was saying is that it would ignore anything else that's not matching. So if I'm highlighting a grass block and right click it, it still does it. I don't think it should. I don't know if that's a bug. So I don't really know what this connected area thing is doing. Yeah, I really don't know what it's doing, but that's fine. I'm going to keep it like this. And yeah, we're going to lose some diamonds. We're looking for 1,500, you know, a couple 10 or so or whatever is completely okay with me. So let's go back to the asteroid belt. Okay, thank you for not landing me in a pile of creepers this time. Oh, I think this answers my question. What if it drops you into the abyss? It doesn't. It generates you a little platform. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Okay, let's try it out at some random asteroid like this guy over here. So I'm going to just aim for around the middle. Right click, delete everything, and then, you know, take a quick look inside. And just like that, I have dug through it and confirmed that that asteroid is trash. But this is going to help me search for diamonds so much faster. Who will be your pretty little enemy? When I'm gone, your world will prove empty. I promise you will always remember me. Oh, found one! And this time I'm going to absolutely make sure I put the beacon in the right place. I can even edit the placement so that it matches up with the center. And that way I can actually just, I built it wrong. If this isn't in the range, then I'm going to call it beacon bugged. If I've made any smart decisions in this entire playthrough, it would have to be making the destruction gadget to look for diamonds in the asteroids. It really made it so much easier to find them. Until I fade away, why give up? Why give in? It's not enough, it never is, so I will go on until the end. Okay, I think I hit the jackpot here. There's so much diamonds in here, jeez. I've been straight mining for like 6 minutes or something like that. I'm almost done with the vein, but yeah, there's a ton of them in this rock for some reason. That other asteroid didn't nearly have this much. I think that's everything. I don't really see any more diamonds, so I think I'm gonna call it done for this asteroid. Okay, so we have 220, right? Look how much I've mined. This is way more than 220. All right, final count. Place your guesses. How much am I gonna have? 728. That was like more than double. So we're halfway there. We're getting pretty close. So for the beacon, I'm probably not going to set it up because either I don't fully understand how it works or it's kind of buggy in Galacticraft or even this mod pack. Wait. No way. You can also get meteoric iron in here all late. You know how long it took me to find the stuff I needed to get the tier 3 rocket? Man, you should have showed up earlier. I didn't know that. Wow. It's got to be rarer than diamonds then if I just found that now. Found another one. This is what, meteor number 4, technically? Man, look at all this. It's kind of dark in here because I forgot to bring lights, but man, there was so much diamonds in here. I feel like it was way more than the other asteroids we visited. So much of it was mined. I'll show you the spoils right now. I was here so long that I actually started running out of oxygen. So I had to set up a little oxygen collector, picking up from these leaves and refilling my tanks. But yeah, look at all of this diamond. I'm pretty sure that's more than last time. So let's count. We have 803. All right, place your bets. 1,490. I think we can call it here because finding these diamonds is kind of tough. They're actually super rare, so I spent a good amount of time exploring the asteroid belt to find them. Our math is telling us we want 1,500, but the rest of it we can find it in the overworld, not a problem. So this should mean we are done, or nearly done with the diamond quest. We still have to process it. No, actually we are done. We had a little bit extra diamond ore in the system already from that very first meteor we found. And there we go, 1,500 diamonds. And if we use the tectonic initiator recipe, I think this is the best way to get diamonds, is using this. And this isn't too bad. It's just obsidian, which we have a lot of. Redstone, we have a lot of. And basalt powder is also super simple. We have a lot of experience still from the dragon fight, so I should be able to make a lot of this. So I did the math to figure out how much essence of knowledge I'm going to need to make enough of the basalt powder. And it turns out to be about 120 buckets. So the Tome of Knowledge says it has 60,099 out of 10,000 experience, but I don't think that converts directly into millibuckets. So if I right click into a tank, 122 buckets, we pretty much have exactly enough XP. So yeah, it was a good idea that we fought the Ender Dragon. So I should be able to borrow this transposer we have here. I just need to give it an Ender Fluid conduit. And then one of those, and I should be able to configure this to extract on green and insert on green here. And then with all this pulverized obsidian, because this is what's used to get the basalt powder, I could just add a chest here. And I should be able to access it right here. I'm going to use brown instead, just so it doesn't conflict with anything else. And then this is going to be insert on brown. Looks like it's a little slow. I don't know how to speed it up. This thing is fully upgraded, but we'll just leave it there, and then I'll come back to this. But while all that basalt stuff is crafting, I can set up the pulverizer. And then this guy's going to want a resonant conversion kit, upgrade with a tectonic initiator augment, and a couple of those reception coils to speed it up. And now you're going to be on the top, and then the output on the bottom. I'm going to be putting the fluids on the side here, so I need you to move out of the way. Yeah, this looks like it might take a little bit to finish up, but I did get a stack of the petroleum stuff, so all I'm going to do is just throw it into a melter. That shouldn't take too long, and then whatever I get, I could pick it up here. However, refined storage is not very friendly with this. Yeah, it only works with buckets, so I need a better way of getting fluids out of there. I mean, what I can do is just throw an exporter out there set to fluids and filter to tectonic... I can't say that. Tectonic petroleum. And there it is. And then pretty much all I'll do is whenever we have a decent amount, I'll just put it here. And this is pulling the diamond ore from the cache on top, and this is not working. I forget that these tanks sometimes need actual fluid pipes. But this now has tectonic petroleum, and we are making our diamonds. So it's going to be a little bit before we finish this little quest because, again, our fluid transposer is kind of slow. But once this finishes, we're pretty much able to say that we completed the diamond quest. And you're going to consume all of them. How dare you? That's fine. I don't think we'll really need any more after this. But then it's this quest. And it's kind of fitting that this is going to be the last quest of the mod pack. 100,000 poop. This whole time, our little poop setup has been running. And we have 15.1 thousand. A little over a tenth of the way there. But we still have a lot to go. I think the biggest bottleneck we have is how fast or how slow we're producing cactus. So a lot of the times we see that this sawmill is just waiting for cactus. So I'm thinking if I make enough phytogenic insulators so that this sawmill is always busy. But then the next question is, will the sawmill be the bottleneck and so on? So I think what I'm going to do instead of just making more phytogenic insulators, I'm going to expand this entire setup and I'm going to put it into another compact machine. And what better place to put the poop maker than our final maximum compact machine. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to have a row of 8 of phytogenic insulators, and I'm pretty much just going to see how strong they are. So I'm just going to have 8 of these guys running all cactus, and then they're going to be pushing into a sawmill. Once I can confirm that the sawmill has trouble keeping up, I can just add more. And then the next one would be the sequential fabricator, and so on. Each one is going to need a resonant conversion kit, a monoculture cycle augment, and 3 auxiliary reception coils. And then I can have our refined storage connection here, and they're going to be getting the items from a interface. We get the phytogrow from this interface, and it's going to be transporting into each of these insulators with a conduit. And then each one is going to want some water as well, so I can connect a fluid conduit to every single machine. Okay, and then I just need to put cactus into each one of them. Okay, yeah, this is definitely way more cactus than we had before. I think this is going to turn out pretty good. But the next step in our little system is to put the sawmill down. So it'll start accepting the cactus to make pulped biomass. And then after that, we needed the sequential fabricator on this row. And on the top, we wanted the pulverizer right over there. This is just going to be a benchmark. So once I can figure out if the sawmill's not enough, then I can just add more sawmills. And then if I figure out that the sequential fabricator's not enough, then I can just add more. But I'm pretty sure the major bottleneck was phytogenic insulator. I guess we'll see once I set everything up. All right, check it out. I got it all set up. So again, we have all of the phytogenic insulators producing tons of cactus. They get sent into the sawmill to create pulped biomass. That pulped biomass gets sent into this sequential fabricator, and we get the sawdust that it needs for the bioblend recipe from this pulverizer up here. The pulverizer is getting the oak wood from the interface as well, and the final product from the fabricator gets sent into this cache. So it looks like with our little setup, the sawmill is now the bottleneck. So what I'm going to do is add a second one. I just want to make sure that we have a net positive here in this cache, because if I check our passive box for the poop maker, I want this to run nonstop because this is pretty quick. In just a couple, like 10, 15 minutes, I did a little bit of editing, and then I came back to this. We already have like 6,000 more. And then I also had to upgrade this item duct over here because I was noticing that this wooden barrel wasn't getting poop fast enough, and we were actually running out of sewage in this tank. So quick. But I'll leave this running for a little bit. I just want to make sure that there's a net positive in here. It looks like it's kind of struggling still. I may have to set each one of these conduits to like round robin or something. Actually, no, 2 sawmills looks like it is fast enough. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I'll leave this running for a little bit. This is already a big improvement to what we had last time. So we'll see how long it takes for us to get that much poop. In the meantime, I've also been checking in and out of the diamond processing. So far, we have 1,086. It did all finish all the basalt powder we need. So pretty much all I do is, I make as much petroleum dust as I can, and then I take a visit to our melter right here, which gets the petroleum dust, and I also have this little chest here to automate that for me. This guy creates our tectonic petroleum, and then it exports into this tank. I'm pretty sure this is all of the tectonic petroleum we're going to need once it finishes processing. Then I will just take that and put it right here, and that should mean our diamond quest is completed. So I'm back at the poop maker, and I'm just thinking about stuff. How can I improve this? And really, the only thing I can think about is just adding more phytogenic insulators and then balancing that with more sawmills. So I think what I'm going to do is get silly with it and just add a ton of them. I usually never go for machine spam in any mod pack I play, but I think this is going to be the exception. Because, it was only a couple minutes and we got 3,000. That's actually pretty quick, but, I'm trying to get 100,000. We're a quarter of the way there or so. This would definitely be the last quest we have to do. Wait, I think I found something interesting. I was breaking the little bedrock cage we had here. And for some reason, when I break a bedrock, I get 2 of them. Yeah, look at that. That would have helped the bedrock quest a lot. I think what's happening is silk touch. So I do have a bedrock pick with just silk touch. Yeah, I want to see if this gives me the extra bedrock. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh wow. That would have been pretty helpful for the bedrock quest, but now you guys know if you're playing along. Just use silk touch and you'll get double the bedrock. It's pretty interesting. Okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. I set up this many phytogenic insulators. I honestly can't tell you how many this is. It's just a lot. They're producing a ton of cactus, probably more than we ever need. And I got 4 sawmills going at it, getting me the pulp biomass. And then this guy is really producing the pulp bio blend. And we're getting a pretty good amount of it out here. So if I check our poop maker in the passive box, so this guy doesn't seem like it's working. I think it has something to do with the export bus. Maybe with how the stack upgrades, it doesn't seem to update too often. So something's up with this, but I'm honestly considering just moving this setup to the new poop maker so that everything is located with each other. And I have plenty of space up there, right, if I need to add more machines. So I'm going to do that real quick. But so far, this looks like it's running pretty good. I'm pretty sure this amount of phytogenic insulators is overkill, and it's still able to keep up with 4 sawmills. I can definitely add more sawmills if I need more. We have a lot of pulp biomass being stockpiled, which means now our bottleneck is the poop maker itself. So let's bring that over here. Alright, look at this monstrosity that I made. So I ended up bringing the entire poop factory over to this compact machine, and I just put it up there. I'm now using 4 fluid transposers, and they're all running non-stop. That's how fast we're producing this. And I'm pretty sure we can even add more of them. I ended up having 4 of these sawmills going, and I also realized the mistake I made. I was storing the pulped biomass in this cache over here, but I was supposed to store the bio blend instead. And now we're building up a ton of this. So if we have a lot of this and a lot of the sewage, that means I can definitely add more fluid transposers. But we'll leave it like this for a while, because we already have 30,000. And then for us to produce the sewage, I needed extra barrels, so I have 5 total. And these guys are set up the same way, where they're getting water from the infinite water sources, and they get the poop from back here using retrievers so that it's able to fill them up as fast as possible. So we got a little sewage engine going on over here. And it looks like we are steadily improving on our sewage production, and then our poop is going up, and then we have everything else is going up, and yeah. This is pretty good. The only downside that I'm thinking of is that we are running out of phytogrow. We had like, what, 30,000 I think of this when we started the episode? But yeah, I think I'm convinced. Let's add some more fluid transposers. And there we go. 8 fluid transposers. Pretty slow. We might actually be throttling our signalum flux duct. Let me go check on my power actually. It's one thing I haven't really paid attention. Oh, we're not having enough power. It's a little bit of a concern. Did you break again? No, you're just not fast enough. I mean, I guess if we needed more power, we can just take out the high impact compactor, because I don't think I need to use this anymore. And I can connect this to the outside world. I just need to make sure that this cryo-stabilized flux duct does not make any contact with these cables, because that is a big, big explosion. Hopefully, right? We're not really using this box much anymore, so even if it explodes, that's completely okay. So we're getting the power from the top, and I should be able to replace this with cryo-stabilized now. So now you're fully charged, and I can disconnect you so that it follows my rules correctly. And while I was doing all of that poop shenanigans, really good news, the tectonic I can't say it. Tectonic petroleum processing finished. So we have all of the diamonds we need to complete the diamond quest. Man, there's these words, they get me a little confused sometimes. Alright, they're all in the storage, 4.5 thousand, and just create a bunch of blocks of diamond. And then, I don't really know how much this is, but I should be able to submit. Oh Lord is correct. 500 blocks of diamonds disappeared, and we're left with 5 blocks. I did the math correctly, which is, uncommon for me, but that is confirmed. We have 1 quest remaining, and it's just tons of poop. So back at the poop maker, we are now 40% of the way there. We're making good progress. But I can see here that we're now struggling to keep up with the sewage. So I think all I have to do is give this extract speed upgrades, which it's actually crafting right now. Are they finished? Oh, they're finished. Let's see if this ruins our sewage production. When it comes to machine spam like this, it's not usually the way I play modded Minecraft. I'm not exactly doing the math when it comes to how many machines I'm going to need to fully support this. For example, I just slapped down a bunch of these insulators without even, knowing how much I'm going to need. And then from there, I'm just figuring it out as I go. Like, how much machines do I need to fully support this? And I'm pretty sure it can be way more efficient, but I'm just having fun at this point, honestly. And there we go. 8 sawmills. So you notice how this guy is kind of struggling a little bit? Well, we have finally throttled our phytogenic insulator, so I think this is as upgraded as I'm gonna get, because any more than this is kind of overkill, I think. Really, it's just a waiting game, and I can definitely wait a couple minutes for this to go through while I do my editing and whatnot. Check it out. We are 65% of the way there. Almost done, but I've run across an issue, and I did call it earlier, and it's time to address it. We're out of phytogrow. We're not producing this fast enough. Our little poop maker over here consumed like 20,000 of this stuff. Really fast, actually. So I guess we'll go take a visit to our passive box and see what I can do to upgrade this setup over here. So it looks like our bottleneck for the sequential fabricator that makes this stuff is slag. So we make our slag back here. Yeah, this guy. Why are you so slow? I can definitely upgrade you. I might have to set up a big machine for this stuff as well, because, yeah, this isn't very quick. Yeah, okay, I think I have to do something else other than upgrading those 2 machines, because if you look at our insulators over here, a lot of them are shut down. So I need to think of something else. Okay, so I'm looking through the induction smelter recipes for slag, and most of the ways to get it offer like a 10% chance, you got 15% chance, sometimes 20% chance. But if you check this out, cobblestone and sand, 100% chance. So we want to do this recipe. And we'll probably just end up trashing the stone bricks because I don't really care about them. So yeah, let's do that. Another issue we're actually seeing, I'm starting to notice, is our lack of sand. So if I check our little passive box over here, yeah, we started the episode at 20,000 and we're now down to 4,500 and it's steadily going down. So I need a better way of producing this, and I think what I'm going to do is a manufactory using cobblestone. So really all I would need for this little setup is a manufactory to turn cobblestone, a designated cobblestone generator, which I think I can actually take the cobblestone generator in here because I'm not really using this box anymore. Yeah, I'll take this guy over here. Oops. I forgot about that. Okay, we got the cobblestone generator, and I'll go ahead and use that to make more slag. And there we go. It looks a little bit scuffed, I know, but it's doing its job pretty well. So the idea with this is that we have the cobblestone generator feeding into the manufactory and the 2 induction smelters with the conduit. And both of these guys are producing slag, and it gets stored here. And yeah, we are producing a steady surplus of this, which is great. And then their stone bricks that they make is being trashed in the nullifier because I don't really care for it. And if I check our passive box, this guy should be keeping up now. Our next issue is niter, which is probably because our lack of sand. I might need to set up that manufactory cobblestone generator combo again for sand, but I'll come back to this. And with those upgrades, check it out. Our phytogenic insulators are back online. And I even had to upgrade all of the cabling in this room to cryo-stabilized flux duct because we weren't able to transfer enough power with signalum. Except these guys, but I'm not too concerned about those because they don't use a lot of power. And check it out. 80% of the way there. We're making progress. Almost there. But it looks like the next step is dealing with the amount of sand, so I have to set this up. Gonna need manufactory for this. And for a little sand maker, I'll probably just end up putting it right here. Yeah, it looks a little scuffed again, but you know what? This is gonna help me out here. Hello, sir. How are you doing? I haven't visited you in quite a while. But I could not have beaten the pack without you. Just remember that. And we'll see here that the manufactory is being slowed down by our lack of cobblestone. And this is the basic generator, so I think I'll just make the upgraded version. And then to deal with the niter issue, I don't think the manufactory is slow at all. It's actually how fast we're producing sandstone, which we get from this factorizer. Factorizers are already pretty quick, but you'll see here that it's not getting enough sand. So speed upgrade. There you go, much faster. But this is absolutely going to chew through all of our sand, so I really need to get that manufactory going. Okay, how is the compact? I was about to say compact claustrophobia out of habit. But the compact cobblestone generator, how fast are you? This one looks like it can keep up. No, it's going down slowly but surely. So yeah, I'm gonna have to add another manufacturer. Okay, I got a second one down. How about now? How are you doing? Yeah, we're less than 1,000 away. Jeez, we're cutting it pretty close. It's going up. I think as long as I don't touch the sand, we should be okay. It's going up. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And while we were working on that, 85,000 poop. Getting very close. Man, I gotta say, these sawmills are kind of getting to me. They're pretty loud. And they're just non-stop noise. I gotta get out of that box. I'm not sure what else to upgrade about the poop factory. And I really think it is just a waiting game to get the rest of the poop going. So I guess I'll stick around, watch it for a little bit, and if I notice something is wrong again, I'll bring you guys into it. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. 109,000 poop. The most poop I've ever seen in my entire life. We're finally finished. So I don't actually know if I'm able to submit it, just like I did with the water. No, okay. I think that's where this OSS station is going to come in. I know I complained about this earlier because it wasn't able to accept fluids, but the internet does say that it works with items. So I guess one way to find out, right? You have to tell it to accept a certain item. Yeah. And then just give it the items. Oh, something is going on with this. It's a little buggy. You know what it is? I think my world is starting to lag. Maybe that's what it is with all the shenanigans going on in the poop factory. That kind of makes sense. So if I tell you to accept that quest and it doesn't work. Hang on. I'm a little confused here. Is there more quests I haven't completed? I don't recognize this potato one or the Ender exporter one. That's really weird. Either way, it doesn't look like it's working. Let's try giving it a potato, actually. Quest complete. What potato quest? What are you talking about? Is it one of the hidden ones? Where's the potato quest? I don't know, but I guess it's like a hidden quest. Yeah, it's hidden for sure. This one seems like another one. Okay, so I guess we have another quest to complete. World item exporter. Yeah, look at that. That was just a random quest. Okay. No, this still isn't working. Maybe it's like hopper rules where it only accepts from the top. No, I don't know how this works, honestly. I guess we're going to have to do something super weird where I'm going to send all of the poop into a double chest. Now we're going to get a little silly with this. I'm just going to fill up a bunch of double chests with the poop and then just break them all and stand in the middle and submit them all at the same time. And then all I got to do is just, go ahead and break them. I'm going to leave a huge mess in here. There's so many items. Oh man, I hope that none of them are deleting. That would be really unfortunate. I'm just thinking about it now, and probably the last memory I'm going to have of this mod pack is exactly this, being completely covered in poop. How did you get over here? I got poop leaking from the walls. And now I'm just thinking about it. Where's all this poop going? So if we consider the quest book as its own entity, what is this person doing with all this poop? Maybe I don't want to know, actually. Keep your secrets to yourself. Okay. Then I just gotta submit. And there we go. And then we just have a ton of poop just hanging out here. I can just put it back in the cache. Awesome. We are completed. And then we just double check there's not any quests because I did miss those 2 quests. Yeah, it looks like there's nothing else to submit. So there were 2 hidden quests in the quest book somewhere. I can't really find them here. Maybe they're like hidden all the way out here or something. I don't actually know. But it looks like we are completely finished. Every single quest completed. And now I can finally say that we are done with Compact Claustrophobia. And this is a pretty big deal for me because it's the first time I've fully 100% completed a mod pack on camera ever since I started my content creation adventures. Really, the only other pack I've played other than this one is GTNH. But, the nature of that pack, it's going to take a while for that one to complete. and it is on stream. So shameless advertisement, go check out my streams if you want to see that. But now that this one's completed, of course, the next question is, what is next for Burning Lake? Well, I've already talked about it several times, probably. It's time for some Meatball Craft. Man, I've been itching to play that pack so much. It's that 1.12 nostalgia that's been really getting to me lately. But it will be like maybe a couple weeks before I get into it. Not too sure. I still have a little bit of cleanup to do. This was a pretty long video compared to most of them. I just wanted to get everything done in this last episode. So it came out to be like 4 episodes worth or something like that. But don't worry, this isn't going to be the usual length of time for videos. I'll still stick to like 30 minutes or so. That's the kind of length that I like to watch videos at, so I make the videos the same way pretty much. But with that said, I will now wrap up the series. I really appreciate your time and support for sticking with me until the end, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. But it wouldn't be a series finale if I didn't go blow everything up, right? Yeah, but I don't know what it is about blowing up my bases every time I finish the pack. I wonder if you guys do the same. Because every single pack I've played, I blow it up at the end of it. I don't know what it is. It's just fun to watch. I'm not going to die up here, right? Oh, there it is. Well, nothing blew up. I guess these compact machine walls are blast proof. But it looks like everything else is gone. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next series, hopefully. Meatball Craft. I'll see you guys then. Take care. Bye-bye.